two 3-3 teams in this ACC that now has no divisions. This is a huge game to try to get them bowl eligible.
Boston College won the toss. They defer to the second half. Luca Lombardo puts toe to leather, and we're underway. Christian Leary will let it bounce over his head, the hero in that final minute win at Miami, and Georgia Tech will take over on offense with Haynes King at the controls.
Yeah, we talk about Haynes King and his ability to throw the football. You know, there is another side to him too, right? He does have the ability to scramble. He just isn't looking to run first in those scramble modes. Anytime you get him moving outside the pocket, especially to his right, his dominant hand, he is good at keeping his eyes downfield and finding those next plays. That's what Christian Leary caught, right? To have that final play touchdown against Miami. This huge scramble drill pass.
He's got Jamal Haynes in the backfield with him. Throwing on first down. That's Rutherford. Complete over the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs for Georgia Tech. Cole Batson from his free safety position making the stop.
Yep, you're going to see a combination of zone coverage, man coverage, some pressures from Boston College. That was a great job of Rutherford just sitting right over the ball in the middle of the zone, found by his quarterback.
Now Rutherford in motion at the bottom of your screen. Fake to Haynes. King deflected beautifully by Elijah Jones, making his 39th start in the secondary for Boston College.
Yeah, great job by Elijah Jones. Good job. Georgia Tech found out their guys in man-to-man, right? Boston College in man-to-man, just a really good job of knocking the ball down on the backside by Elijah Jones. He says, no, not in my direction.
Give to Haynes. Jump stop in the backfield. He's able to pick up about 4 yards when it looked like he might be dropped for a loss initially.
And this is really what both teams are going to have to do, right? You got to be able to pick up extra yardage on second down, and I think Georgia Tech talked to us, so much of this second and long has occurred, resulting in third and long. There's a good pickup on second down, third and manageable. Expecting to see some more exotic blitzes from this Boston College defense. Let's see if they dial it up early.
Showing pressure here. We got movement on Georgia Tech.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Right tackle Jakaya Leftwich started the last couple of games with Jordan Williams hurt. Might see a little bit of Jordan Williams in this game, but at least to start with, they're going to go with Leftwich at right tackle.
Yeah, coaching staff was excited to have the possibility of having Jordan Williams back after, it seemed like for 3 games in a row he kept getting injured, and then took a couple weeks off. Really recovered well in the bye week, they said, but Jakaya Leftwich out there right now. And now, right, it goes third and long. And Georgia Tech has really been good at converting, number 2 in the ACC on third down conversions this year. But this is going to be a tougher task.
Rutherford again in motion at the bottom of your screen. Pressure coming on the edge. King flushed out of the pocket, throws high, and just threw that one away.
King's pass incomplete.
Really good pressure, Cam Arnold. And this is a double outside pressure. You watch towards the bottom of the screen, just not enough guys to pick up the pressure. And it was Donovan Ezraku and Cam Arnold, the linebacker, coming off that left side, and really just a free run at the quarterback.
So the Irishman David Shanahan in the punt. Jaden Williams, the return man for Boston College. Low kick, end over end, going to take a Georgia Tech bounce inside the 20. It's going to end up being a nice kick for the Yellow Jackets. Finally down at the 9-yard line, 50 yards, nothing on the return. And Boston College and Castellanos will start inside their own 10.
Boston College also coming off their bye week, and their previous outing was against an Army team in the pouring torrential downpour. So Castellanos only threw the ball 9 times in that game, but they relied on his legs. Carried the ball 31 times for 142 yards, and Chris, 4 touchdowns on the ground. He was called upon to do that. He told the coaches, I want the ball in my hands, don't want to risk fumbling with the wet ball, and he took it on his shoulders. You're going to see a lot more balanced offense today, I would assume.
Castellanos to throw, steps up into the pocket, tried to hit his tight end Takis, and it goes incomplete. Castellanos from Waycross, Georgia. That's southeast Georgia, down near Savannah and Brunswick area. Says he's going to have a lot of friends and family that make the drive up here to Atlanta to watch him today. Of course, as you mentioned, the Open started his career at UCF, transferred to BC. Didn't start the year as their #1, was in a quarterback battle with Emmett Moorhead. Moorhead was the starter in week 1, but Castellano quickly took over. Robichaux pounding it in the middle. This is a Georgia Tech defense, Mark. Comes into this game ranked 128th in rush defense. That's 3rd to last in FBS.
Yeah, no bueno. But they really did do a better job against Miami stopping the run. I mean, they gave up a few explosives, but their last time out, they showed life and, changed up defensive coordinator. They brought Kevin Schurer. They promoted him up to be the play caller. He simplified the defense. Didn't show a lot of exotics, so I wouldn't expect to see pressure here. Look for them to drop back in zone and see if Castellanos can take advantage.
Castellanos to throw. Incomplete. Tried to hit Joe Griffin on the outside, and Miles Sims was in coverage, so a 3-and-out for BC offensively on their first possession of the day.
Yeah, Miles Sims, good job of just being physical on his wide receiver, and this is just it's a timing route, and a little bit of a connection error between those two, Joe Griffin and his quarterback Castellanos.
Sam Candiotti in the punt for BC. And Dominic Blaylock standing at his own 45 for the Jackets. Candiotti gets it off. Good high kick. Blaylock's going to be forced to call for a fair catch at the 46. Jackets with the ball when we come back. Still scoreless here early in Atlanta. And Georgia absolutely picture perfect. Not a cloud in the sky. Big game for both BC and Georgia Tech as Tech opens up their second possession of the day. Haynes just swallowed up, loses a yard. Cam Horsley on the tackle.
George Rook's in there as well. And Boston College defense, they're going to have a tough task of stopping Jamal Haynes. He is a fast runner, one-cut guy, but he's tough too. Not that big, but he runs hard.
They'll also pull him out of the backfield and split him wide as he is here at the bottom of your screen. Haynes King now is going to try and get it on his own. He can make plays with his feet and picks up about 8 yards. They'll give him 7. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Really good coverage. Cam Horsley, who made that last tackle, dropped off. It was right over the football covering the back, and Haynes King just took it out and run. 3rd down. Georgia Tech will get in a lot of these empty sets. And as you said, flex out Jamal Haynes, then bring him back in the backfield to identify coverage. Okay, this tells me zone because no one ran with him.
King trying to look his way. He's not open. He can run if he chooses to. Instead, he tries to get it downfield and hit Malik Rutherford. And the pass goes incomplete. Mark, I thought he had a lot of green grass in front of him to pick up that 1st down.
Yeah, I think he did. But it's rolling out to his left. It doesn't feel as natural. You see this. Okay, my first option is open. He does a good job going through his read progression. And right here, look, you see, there is a safety in that area. It's just harder, right? You're going out to your non-dominant side. We talk all the time about rolling out to your left. It's hard to complete those throws. Good job in coverage by Boston College.
Williams calling for a fair catch at his 12, makes it. And both teams having a hard time moving the ball offensively. The defenses leading the way from hitting the other team. Shouldn't say time off, as Coach Key would vehemently denied that they do anything soft in practice.
Well, there you go.
Robichaux with a 1st down carry himself down beyond the 20. Sherry Burris down on the field. What do you got for us, Sherry?
Guys, Boston coaches are saying that quarterback Thomas Castellano is very laid back and really nothing seems to rattle him. But they are starting to see his personality come out a little bit more. Offensive coordinator Steve Shimko told us what a competitor he is. His background is in basketball, soccer. He was a high jumper, even playing a little cornerback in high school. But this week he said he came into the meeting and said, yep, gets his time to light up the scoreboard.
Castellano fakes the Robichaux, rolls out. Has a tight end way downfield. That's good. That's Taji Johnson. Check it. It's a wideout. Johnson, who's from nearby Marietta High School.
All right.
First down.
Taji Johnson lines up in the slot, and you see him come across the field from right to left, right on that ACC logo, and just works his way up the numbers. Great job of connecting by Castellanos.
Castellanos now scrambling. Now throws downfield.
Whoa,
Has a receiver wide open. Inside the 20.
You see how he threw that football? Man.
Robichaux out of the backfield sets up the Eagles inside the red zone.
Oh, we're going to go back to that later, but as they're going fast, what a throw rolling to his left, slinging it downfield.
Castellanos to the corner of the end zone, trying to hit Griffin over his head.
All right, let's go back to that. Watch him. You know, we talk about rolling out to your left, right? Okay, this is a boot to your right. Play's broken down. Okay, now he's moving over to his left and just whips it out there to Robichaux, who is that last second outlet route. So much of this game is going to be played really for both teams in the play after the play, right? When a play breaks down and these quarterbacks start making plays with their legs, how can these wide receivers get into their scramble drill? Great job by BC.
Alex Broom now in the backfield. Takis drops it.
Yeah.
That's 2 today already that Takis has not been able to hang on to. And, you know, Coach Hafley said Takis came into this game with 5 catches on the year. He said he's too good of an athlete not to get heavily involved in the offense. Yeah,
but I got to tell you, right? If you're a quarterback and you're throwing the football to a guy who's dropping it, you're just going to stop throwing him the football. You know, and that's the confidence. It goes both ways. You got to be a reliable source. And on third down and long, I would look somewhere else in this situation.
It's 3rd and 10. Robichaux split at the top of your screen. Castellanos goes that way. He's got room, but he'll be dropped at about the 6. That's 4 yards shy of the marker to gain. Paul Moala, who was the hero of the Miami game 2 weeks ago with the strip in the final minute, making the tackle.
Boston College will go for it a lot today on 4th down, but not this time taking the points.
Liam Connor will attempt a 24-yard field goal for the far hash. Good hold, snap, and kick. And Boston College on the board here first in Atlanta. Drive that started on their own 12. These teams 3-3 on the year coming into this game. And big plays from Castellanos, as you would expect on that drive, leading to 3 points for the Eagles.
And all through the air. Scramble around, use his legs to find his open targets. And it was good to see Kai Robichaux get involved as well. He's going to be a big part of this game, as Pat Garwo we don't expect to see after he got banged up in the Army game.
And Robichaux and Broom will be the 2 backs we see most often for Boston College. The wind blows the ball off the tee. Luca Lombardo will re-tee it. Leary's going to try and return this one. Out beyond the 30. Good return from Christian Leary. We get a chance to see Georgia Tech, Miami. Let's see how they bounce back from that tough loss the last 2 weeks, really. I mean, you think about it, for them, they were 4-0, unbeaten. Georgia Tech beats them, then they fall last week. It isn't going to get any easier for them. Prime time tonight against Clemson. Haynes King got a lot of room to run here, and he's going to utilize it. 1st down and more. Finally run out of bounds at the 45.
Well, Boston College is going to have to address that, right? It's been 2 drives, and the 2 big plays have been this. Poor pass rush lanes getting too far up the field. Haynes King, he's just going to pull that down and run, and the zone drops are too deep. So good job by Haynes King, but Boston College is going to have to change their scheme on 1st and 2nd down.
King changing the play. Got Trey Cooley in the backfield with him for this drive. Give to Cooley. Crashes into the line. Give him 3.
Cooley, the ball carrier.
Yeah, Trey Cooley, he's been a really good addition to this team. So many new players on this team. Trey Cooley, he's one that was here last year but transferred in from Louisville the year prior. And he was really the guy that they thought, hey, this is going to be our back. And then Jamal Haynes earned that starting role early in the year.
King fires complete. That'll be another 1st down. Dominic Blaylock, the old man in this receiver room with the catch.
Yeah, Chris, we like Blaylock, right? You know, we watched him make some really big plays and some sparks for this team against Bowling Green. And then it was really his catch in the 3rd quarter against Miami that sparked their offense and got their offense started to get going. Let's see if they can build off this. Oh, what a hole.
Hand off to Cooley. He picks up about 7. Georgia Tech offensively now getting it cooking.
I mean, look at this right side of the offensive line. I mean, just there. I mean, that is, you could drive a monster truck through there. Good job pinning on the backside and washing down the rest of the defensive line.
First time in Boston College territory for the Jackets. 2nd down and 4. Fumbled the football and picked it up. Cooley got a fortunate bounce off this turf here at Hyundai Field. Bounced right back in the breadbasket.
Those balls, the oblong shape, they don't really bounce back to you too often. This was a lucky one.
And he was able to fall forward and pick up the 1st down too.
Looks like George Rooks got that little mitt, number 91 out there. Still picked up the 1st down.
Saw Brent Key there briefly. You know, he likes being a former offensive lineman himself, the way this drive is being put together. On the ground, Cooley gets to the 2nd level again. That's 9 more yards. Cam Arnold finally had to make the stop. Sherry, what's going on?
Running back Trey Cooley, guys, saw this opportunity at Georgia Tech as a new start. Mark, you mentioned it. He was at the University of Louisville, and in high school, he wore number 23. But coming out of the transfer portal and picking the Yellow Jackets, he said he wanted to leave that past behind him. So that is why he's wearing number 0. It's part motivation. Reminder, he's starting from nothing.
Speaking of 23, that's how many yards he has on the day and all on this drive. 4 carries, that's his 5th, but he won't get far there. He might not even pick up the 1st down. He doesn't. Stopped by Sheeta Salah. Shy of the marker to gain, Mark.
Yeah, it's a big play by Salah. He's really can be a big presence for that defense on the outside. You know, defensive end, 6'4", 255 pounds. He's a big guy, physical guy. He's been around for a long time, but he just continuously is hurt. They feel like he is healthier for this game than they have been in a while.
Haynes lowers his shoulder, picks up the 1st down. He took a big shot at the 20, but it was enough to move the sticks.
They're continuing to move these chains down the field. A long, sustained drive. They're getting in the huddle. They're getting out of the huddle. They're lining up, and they're just executing. And I think that's probably what Brent Key is most excited to see. And Buster Faulkner, the OC, is this continuous movement of the chains and this consistency down the field.
Fake to Haynes. King keeps it. Gonna roll forward, give him about 4 yards on 1st down. Cole Batson coming up to make the stop. It's been Castellanos throwing the ball and Haynes King running the ball. I expect it to be the opposite at the start of the day. 10th play of this drive. This is kind of what we expected at the start, Mark. Both these teams, these defenses, not overly proficient at stopping the run. Haynes gets to the edge and scores.
Wow, great run and great play design to get their running back on the edge.
Jamal Haynes, 4th rushing touchdown of the year, and he had the speed to get to the edge, and no one was tracking him down once he got there. Brent Key congratulating his offensive line. Jackets on top. Hayden Burr with the PAT, and it is good. 10 plays, 69 yards, almost 5 minutes off the clock. And the Yellow Jackets take their first lead of the afternoon, Mark.
Yeah, they wind up in a 3-by-1, all the receivers to the left, and so on the backside, they have a cornerback that's left to secure the edge, right? And that's Amari Jackson, number 24, and Amari Jackson runs into Joe Fusel, and Joe Fusel's got a few extra pounds on him and knocks him off the bar. Jamal Haynes, you see the speed getting around the edge. What a drive by Georgia Tech, and we mentioned it. It was mostly on the ground, right? Whether it was Haynes King, Trey Cooley, or Jamal Haynes at the end, this was a ground and pound type drive for Georgia Tech.
As even-keeled as it gets, Brent Key. Doesn't want to get too high, doesn't want to get too low, and they have been on a roller coaster ride over the last month. And right now, they're at the top of that hill. Always that first hill on the roller coaster, you know, as soon as you come out of the gate, all right up.
The anticipation for that first drop, too.
Georgia Tech hopes that drop doesn't come anytime soon as the kickoff goes into the end zone. And 2 weeks ago, the playing here at Georgia Tech was on the offensive line when Joe Hamilton was here. Now he's leading his alma mater as the head coach. 2 yards for Boston College and Alex Broom.
Yeah, that was him on the way down from Splash Mountain, right? Hitting the water, hands in the air. He was feeling it.
He said after the Miami game, just as he did after the Bowling Green loss, put it behind you. Start working on the next week. Alex Broom picked up 2 yards on first down. Let's see how Boston College responds. Fake to Broom. Castellanos' ball is tipped and almost intercepted. Dangerously getting out into the secondary. KJ Wallace with his hand on it. Miles Sims was almost able to squeeze it. Out there in coverage with Clayton Powell-Lee.
We talked to Kevin Scherr. Say, hey, we got a smaller quarterback you're facing. Are you talking to your guys about getting your hands up? He said, yes. Anytime we play a quarterback of this stature, get your hands up, knock a pass down.
Castellanos has time. Now he has room to run. Gets to the second level, but isn't able to pick up the first down. KJ Wallace again on the tackle. Give him 6 on third down, but it looks like it's going to be about 3 yards shy.
And Boston College, they often go for it. I was going to say, right, there are certain times in a game where you make that decision, and it could be the outcome of the game, right? This is a good job of getting the punt team out there, but phenomenal job by Georgia Tech. You put a long drive on the field on offense, you come back out, you get a stop on defense, and now you get the ball right back in your hot quarterback's hand.
Sam Candiotti to punt it away. Good kick, drives Blaylock back. He's going to call a fair catch at his own 21. Makes it there, and Tech will take over. Take a look at the rest of the day in the ACC as we're just getting started here in Atlanta. Tonight as well. That came down in Tallahassee. Duke is a complete football team. Really tough road test for them down at Doak Campbell.
Yeah, man, like you just look at the wide receiver threats, Keon Coleman and
Wilson's going to play.
Yep, yeah. He's going to be back out there, but Duke's defensive backfield, they have been stellar this year. They're one of the best in the ACC, maybe probably one of the best in the country.
Yeah, Miles Jones might be the best cornerback, certainly a midseason All-American. BC brings 5, and he can't quite hook up with Cooley. Haynes King just a little bit wide. And just like that, it's 3rd and 8.
And Boston College will bring in their rush package. Vinny DePalma, good job on that coverage. And they'll bring in, these are the guys who will run the pressure package. And they're lining up, showing pressure now. Looks like man coverage across the board. Let's see if King can take advantage. Again, look towards the bottom of your screen. Look at 21 and 6. This is the same pressure they showed last time coming off that bottom edge.
BC brings everybody. Picked up just well enough, and it's
intercepted!
Intercepted by Amari Jackson, and he's going to score.
Wow, what a play by Amari Jackson. Man-to-man across the board, 0 coverage. And Amari Jackson sat all over that stop route. What a huge play by the sophomore local kid out of McDonough, Georgia. With the Eagles landing. And here he is. What an interception. Blaylock didn't even realize what had happened until Jackson was in the end zone.
Liam Connor for the PAT for BC. He nails it. And just like that, Boston College retakes the lead. Were we just talking about roller coasters moments ago?
Yeah, we were.
I mean, it looked like Georgia Tech had the momentum.
Oh, look at this shot. Oh,
one-handed.
Whoa, wait a second. We got to see that again.
Caught it against his hip with his left arm.
It just, you know, that's one of those plays where you look down and you're like, wow, I got the ball. Look at this. That wow. He got the knockdown and just pinned it against his leg.
First interception on the year, and he takes it 31 yards for the score. You mentioned the local kid from McDonough, Georgia. That's just south of Atlanta here, and I'm sure he's got some friends and family in attendance.
Oh, 100%.
Enjoyed watching that.
And they love Amari Jackson. They think he's probably one of the most talented and gifted physically corners that they've had in really, I don't know, really the near past, but he is really developing. Only a true sophomore. He was forced into action a little bit earlier than expected, and there you go. Put that helmet back on. You're right back out there. Great play by the sophomore.
And Chris Wenke, the quarterback's coach, consulting with Haynes King on what went wrong on that last play, and got to get right back out there.
How cool is it though, right? You know, you throw a pick, it's a problem, all that, but you go over to Chris Wenke and you get to talk to him about the situation, right? Chris Wenke, such a good leader of men and also a great coach, obviously a good player. He's going to get Haynes King right.
And the Heisman Trophy in 1999, Florida State. Cooley. Check that, Jamal Haynes. Give him 7 yards. Early on in this game, Georgia Tech was having a difficult time running between the tackles. Looks like they've cleared that up a little bit.
Yeah, they have, and you know, it's a little bit surprising, right? Boston College not great at stopping the run earlier in the year, and then, you know, season lows versus Virginia, versus FSU, versus Army. Really, it's stepped up their run defense. Georgia Tech has found some cracks today. 79
so far. King is going to keep it on the option, picks up the first down, bangs his way to the 43. John Pupil on the stop, the transfer from Dartmouth. Haynes King can run. I mean, you think about it, coming off the bus, he looks like a pocket passer. He doesn't look like the type of kid that you would say he's going to utilize his legs, but he can. Haynes again, give him 3. It's a good look at Haynes King, transferred from Texas A&M, won the starting job over the summer. Final seconds of this first quarter ticking down, and Haynes King and the offense will come to the sideline. They'll let it run down to 000s. Trying to mount another offensive drive. Boston College utilizing the pick 6 toward the latter moments of this first quarter. The head of Christian Leary earlier, moments ago. He had a chance to check in with Sherry Burris, the coach.
Well, Coach Hafley, what a half there. You talked about riding the momentum, the roller coaster with that pick 6. How do you maintain their energy?
Well, they've come out with both energy. Both teams clearly came out with both energy. They had a nice drive. We had the one nice drive. We got a score in the red zone, but to get the pick down here was huge. That's what we need, more of that.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Sherry. Coach Hafley, appreciate it. Did have some good energy from both these teams. Pressure now from BC. Trying to get it to Malik Rutherford. Beautiful play. Fantastic play by Elijah Jones, as it looked like Haynes King was going to drop that right into the breadbasket of Malik Rutherford, and it was tipped away at the last minute.
This was a phenomenal. Got his head back around, used his size, got the tip, and watch the pressure. Look at Haynes King, Donovan Ezaraku off that left edge. Does a good job of getting to Haynes King for the first time. Really good job on 3rd down and long by Boston College again.
Jaden Williams with his heels planted on the 10-yard line. Georgia Tech might go for a fake. Now they come out of it. That was Avery Boyd who got under center. Now he comes out of it. Shanahan will punt it. Good high kick. Williams is going to let it bounce and does so wisely. That was a yard away from being an absolutely perfect punt from Shanahan. Instead, it's a touchback, and Williams does the right thing by letting it bounce into the end zone.
You know, it's interesting, Chris, when you saw that punt, right? They get in that fake punt alignment. But anytime you do that shift, you know, it's a little known rule, but you can line up over the center in that situation, right? So, like, anytime we would see that, you line up over the long snapper and you blow him up, because that's the one time you don't get flagged for that. I always get wary of teams doing that, because if someone does line up over your long snapper, you know, it could be an errant snap.
Robichaux trying to push the pile, and he gets pushed back. Gain of 3 on 1st down. Horace Lockett.
Yeah, I mean
big fella.
We haven't talked enough, right, yet in this game about the 2 giants on Georgia Tech's defensive line. Horace Lockett is 6'6", 341 pounds. Let me let that sink in. 6'6", 341 pounds. Oh yeah, and Zeke Biggers next to him is 6'6", 333 pounds. Those guys are the D tackles for Georgia Tech.
Give the Robichaux. Lots of room to run. 1st down, BC.
So what do? You run away from those 2 gigantic guys. Good job by Robichaux. And Boston College, with this tempo-style offense, worked for them last time out. They're going back to it.
Robichaux just pushing the pile. Braylon Oliver draped all over him, but he was still able to pick up an extra 4 yards.
Both teams have running backs that will keep their feet alive and moving. And you saw it with Robichaux there. You've seen it with Jamal Haynes earlier in the game. You'll see it again, but neither of these running backs are going to get driven back. They're going to continue to push forward to gain those extra yards, and that really sets up some of this play action, because more guys need to be around the tackle.
Castellanos to throw. That time he hits Franklin, the tight end. It'll be enough to move the sticks. Sims on the tackle.
Yeah, it's a similar play to what we saw earlier to George Takis, and you know, it's interesting. Okay, now we're going to run to a different player, and Jeremiah Franklin makes the catch, picks up the 1st down.
Just his 4th catch on the season. Broome, the more diminutive of the 2 backs now. And here's Lewis Bond. Bond beyond midfield and more. Bond is the favorite target with Castellanos. Can throw the punt out there. Got a flag down. Let's check the marker. Bond has that Bond with Castellanos. First catch of the day for him. Let's check the marker. Our referee, Tim Hedgepeth. Work on that microphone. We'll do that in the time being. I think we got the gist of it, though. Holding against Boston College. Spot foul, so we'll move it back down to the 40.
Yeah, based on reaction, I think it might have been on Mahogany. He was the one talking. Look, he's still doing it. 73 right there. He's trying to explain himself a little bit.
I think that's going to fall on deaf ears.
And Boston College has been much better, right? First couple games of the year, tons of penalties. Last couple games, they've been much better limiting those big penalties.
Castellanos to throw.
Nice.
Tipped away at the last second.
Oh, man.
That's going to be a foul, though. Rodney Shelley in coverage. They're going to flag him for getting there a tick early.
Looked like a great play to the naked eye. Let's see from the back angle. You see that left arm is on the wide receiver.
That's a good look right there. Got there early.
Yep, he did.
That's a good call. See it a lot better in instant replay. Just a tick early for Shelley, who they are all kinds of excited about, both as a corner and as a special teams performer. First down for Castellanos. Tech bringing pressure up the middle. Robichaux couldn't quite hang on. If he catches that, he might still be running.
Yeah, he had a convoy in front of him. It's about a little bit of patience here for Castellanos. Okay, you don't need to rush. Yes, you got a guy coming from the backside, but you want to be able to drop it in there nicely. Your running back. Good play on 1st and 10.
Third drop of the game for BC. Otherwise, Castellanos' numbers would be a little bit better. 2nd down and 10. Robichaux.
Nice hit.
The hole was filled by Trinilis Tatum. That's what you like to see from 7. You know the Georgia Tech defensive coaches want to see 7 fill the hole and hit, because he can run sideline to sideline like the wind.
They want him to play faster. Stop thinking about all the stuff and just go out there and play. He did that on the last one. And we really have yet to see Castellanos pull the ball down in a scramble situation and run, right? This is now that area of the field where I can see them doing a drop back pass here with Castellanos having the option to pull down and run.
Instead, it's going to be a reverse.
Oh, wow.
A lot of blockers in front for BC.
Nice
Beautiful play.
Wow, what a play by Jalen King. That is a big-time tackle from the free safety. He had a massive interception return against Miami, and then comes out of the post and just does a phenomenal job of bringing him down.
Now it looks like BC may go for it here. They've converted 5 of their last 7 on 4th down, Mark. You mentioned it earlier. They like to go for it, and this is the type of spot in the field where it makes sense.
And they're trying to draw Georgia Tech offside.
Robichaux in motion out of the backfield. Everyone's pointing at each other.
They got a lot of room on that right-hand side. I might snap it and run over there. All the defensive linemen are lined up to the offense's left. That's interesting.
The ploy didn't work for Coach Hafley. Georgia Tech defense getting the crowd into it here at Bobby Dodd Stadium.
4th down.
Boston College will bring the punting team onto the field. Very interesting drive from BC. Flags hurt him, flags helped him. In the end, it was a great play by Jalen King, forcing the punt.
10 minutes, 34 seconds.
Just readjusting the clock.
10 minutes, 34 seconds. On the game clock, please.
We got Coach Hedgebith's, our referee, Tim Hedgebith. He might be a coach somewhere.
Well, he's coaching right now. He's coaching the clock operator.
Here he is.
1034. Thank you.
Get that clock 4 more seconds. There we go. Candiotti will put a toe into it, end over end. Fair catch from Blaylock made at his 8. Haynes King today, slow start, just 2 of 9.
Yeah, he's been doing it on the ground.
That pick 6. Yeah.
Already 90 yards rushing on the ground for this Georgia Tech offense.
King to throw. No, he's going to pull it down and run and get positive yards on 1st down. Spins his way for about 8, and a late flag coming in. Sheeta Salah on the tackle downfield. Let's check the marker.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 99. 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the play, automatic 1st down.
A 15-yard face masking penalty will move the ball out to much better field position for Georgia Tech. And a fresh set of downs all the way out to the 33. Screen Outstanding move by the Yellow Jacket to pick up the first down. That was Malik Rutherford.
Good block on the outside by Blaylock.
Jackets want to move quickly. Haynes still driving his feet forward. Gets inside the 40. John Pupil makes the tackle, but not before another first down for the Jackets.
And Boston College, kind of soft on this right-hand side of the line of scrimmage. Just, able to get double teams on the nose and the end, and just, soft. And part of it is the formations that Georgia Tech is presenting, right? They're spreading out this front, but only 3 guys that are really with their hand in the dirt. Only 2 here with kind of a floater walking around in Ezeraku.
Haynes again on that right side, dances his way for 4.
Yeah, and what that does, right? Donovan Ezeraku, number 6, is a defensive end, and he's in this kind of walk defensive end position. It just is harder to get that strike and that pop on these run plays, and it'll be interesting to see if they temper that at all. And right now Boston College is presenting as a bend but don't break defense, and they seem relatively fine with that.
Haynes with 54 yards on the ground and that touchdown earlier in the first half. This time it's Cooley inside the 30, stopped just about a yard shy of the first down. Batson again on the tackle, starting to rack up some tackles here in this first half.
Yep. Cole Batson is kind of a big, long free safety, 6'4", 210-pound sophomore out of California. He's been a pretty sure tackler for this BC defense. 3rd and 1 now.
Cooley. He gets stopped close to where he needed to be. It depends on whether we're going with the near side head linesman or the line judge on the far side. Short of the line of gain.
And the sticks on the far side, they're moving.
Now they're going to move the sticks. Now the official says first down. It took a little while. I didn't see the referee give any type of a signal.
That's like when you're the back stick guy and you see the signal, but the front stick guy doesn't.
Yeah.
You gotta honk. You honk your horn. You're like, let's go, buddy.
Right.
You gotta move.
I don't know who has seniority. That's the question.
Well, I don't know.
You have to wait till maybe the front stick guy says to go.
Well, you know what? Depends on how aggressive you are.
I have no idea about being part of a chain gang. I would have no idea of the ins and outs. Haynes and Cooley now both in the backfield with Haynes King. First down, Georgia Tech. Now we get a whistle and a timeout. Going to be called by the Yellow Jackets. Inside of 7 minutes left to play in this second quarter. Jackets trailing by 3 on the move. That 41 yards for him. He hasn't been able to do much through the air. They haven't really gone downfield at all. Like Singleton hasn't been targeted at all downfield. It's been a lot of screen passes. And that right there, the handoff. Cooley trying to bounce it outside. Can't keep his footing as Pupil comes up to make the tackle from his safety spot. Maybe a little bit of a loss of a yard, half yard.
And now Boston College's defensive line, they got their hands in the ground. And good job by Pupil from that strong safety spot, just finding the lane into the backfield.
King checks the sideline.
See, now they got 3 guys down. The floater now looks like Salah, number 11.
Pressure's picked up. Now King is going to go downfield. Leary can't make the catch. Jackson closed the gap as it looked like Leary had a step on him in the end zone.
Calling for the flag, and
I got there a tick early. No call though. Yeah, the crowd just seeing it on the jumbotron.
He definitely got a point. You get down there, you get that arm swipe early. I'm surprised there's no flag. 3rd down and long now.
Leary in motion now, back to the bottom of your screen. King to throw. Pressure from Boston College. Malik can't bring it in. He's looking for a flag. And Jones says, nuh-uh.
Elijah Jones. That's his second outstanding play of this game. 6'2", 185-pound grad student from Harlem.
Brent Key is incensed. I think he feels like he should call it both ways. He got a pass interference call against his team earlier on.
Very similar looking play, too.
Hayden Burr on for 46. And it's good. Georgia Tech puts 3 more on the board. We're all knotted up at 10 here in Atlanta.
Like, hey, what do you see as the identity of Boston College? He said, look, it's not about the points or the players. It's their belief. Like, you can snap the ball, they could be down 24 points, and they just believe that they're going to come back. And he said, he goes, it's very obvious that this team does not look at the scoreboard at all. They don't know what the score is. They just go out and play every down like it's their last. And
down to Florida State early a lot. They came back and made it a 2-point game. Down 21-7 to Virginia. They won that game. Down in the 4th quarter to Army. They won that game.
Yeah, and right now they're sitting there with 10 points, but they have got to start doing a better job on 1st and 2nd down because they're 0 for 4 on 3rd, and their average is 3rd and 8.
Well, Broome doesn't do a very good job there. Puts the ball on the carpet. Lucky to fall back on it, but now it's 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, and this is what happens, right? You have an incomplete pass on 1st or 2nd down, and all of a sudden you're in 3rd and 8. It's tough to convert 3rd and 8s. Boston College, as we said so far, yet to convert a 3rd down.
Broome and Castellanos having a word or two with each other after that failed exchange. Back at it, 2nd down and 11. Castellanos to throw. That's an open receiver, and Bond makes the catch but can't go anywhere with it. At the your point mark, it's 3rd and 6.
Yep. And okay, you got him. You got to hit him where you can make the play on the ball. Get the ball up a little bit. Let him have a little run after catch. And again, I have just been surprised we haven't seen more design QB run. And here he lines up in an empty set. There's got to be a 2-way go for him.
Tech brings just 3. Castellanos is going to run it, and he's going to pick up the 1st down.
And yeah, that's what it was, right? They set up a screen. It was a wide receiver screen to Lewis Bond, who lined up in the backfield. Watch number 11 leak out to the right. Hey, if that's not there, pull the ball down and figure out how to get an extra 6 yards. And that's what makes Castellanos so dangerous. And allowing him to feel like he can do that, that's on Steve Shimko and this offensive staff. Here
Design
he goes.
Run and a lot of room for Castellanos. Give him 6 yards. Sherry, what's going on?
Hearing down on the sideline, Georgia Tech side, defensive line coach Marco Coleman, he was hounding his guys. You need to tackle Castellanos low. Get him on the ground was his emphasis. He said if you're going to tackle him high, you're probably going to miss him. Mark, I think you mentioned his stature, but he was so emphatic, guys. At one point, his gum fell out of his mouth.
Yeah, Marco Coleman is a guy you want to listen to when he's emphatic. He, of course, one of the all-time great defensive ends in Georgia Tech history, won a national title here in 1990. Castellanos, Bond again, wide open. Moala giving chase, but that's going to be another 1st down for BC. Check that Eford on the tackle.
Yeah, I expect Lewis Bond to have a big day today. You know, slot receivers have really had pretty good days against Georgia Tech's defense. Last time out against Restrepo, they gave up 12 catches for 123 yards.
Castellanos has all kinds of time to hit Robichaux. He's back out of the backfield. Moala on that tackle. Pickup of about 3. And they are giving Castellanos a nice pocket to throw from.
They are, and what a stark difference than Boston College's offensive line last year. So many guys got experience. They got Mahogany back. They have protected him really well.
Franklin, the tight end, in motion at the top of your screen. They give to Broome. Stretching it to the outside, stays on his feet, and may pick up a first down, but we got a couple of flags down. Broom's going to be just a yard shy. Let's check the marker, though. As Tim Hedgespeth and these officials talk things over. It is going to be 3rd and 1 with the play.
There are multiple fouls on the offense. Holding, number 70. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, face mask, number 60. 15-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Call against Kyle Hergel, the Canadian transfer from Texas State, is going to move him back 15 yards. That is a costly penalty in the middle of the field.
It sure is. And, you know, this really plagued Boston College the first few games of the year. But really, over the last 3 games, BC only has 15 penalties. You know, averaging 5 a game. They're already at 4 in this first half. So you feel sometimes these bye weeks, you kind of get back into that natural rhythm, that kind of that relaxed rhythm. They have got to be on top of that and not let the penalties hurt them.
2nd down and 22. Broom in motion out of the backfield. Castellanos going downfield. Connects with his tight end, Franklin. That's going to be a first down.
What a throw from Thomas Castellanos. You have your tight end on a deep post. Look at how he looks off the safety and then zips the ball right in there. That is a well-thrown football to a tight end that I expect to get more playing time, right? You open the game, 2 passes to your tight end, your starter, George Takis, who drops the football, and then, you know, 2 passes to Jeremiah Franklin, 1 in the flat that he receives for a first down, and then this long one down the middle of the field.
Yeah, 2 catches for him. He only had 3 on the whole season coming in the first 6 games for Boston College. And way downfield for a tight end on that deep post. Castellanos couldn't pick up anything. As a matter of fact, even lost a couple of feet on first down. So 2nd down and 11. Castellanos to throw. Pressure now up the middle. Going deep. His receiver slipped and fell a bit as he overshoots his man Jaden Skeet.
You're going to see some new freshman faces. Nate Johnson, we've already seen Nate Johnson, number 3. He's kind of a jet sweep guy. Jaden Skeet is going to play more in this game. He's that deep shot guy. And on 3rd down, they're going to need to pick up a big chunk. Another 3rd and long for Boston College. Now, this part of the field is 4-down territory for Boston College. If they get close to that first down marker, look for them to try for it.
Boston College wants to talk things over. Timeout. Coach Jeff Hafley, he'll talk things over with his quarterback, Thomas Castellanos. 3rd and long for BC.
Letters left on your chest?
No, never did. I would have needed an SPF 1000 if I came out here in this sunshine with that on my chest. Big completion on 3rd down. I don't think he got to the marker to gain, but Castellanos put that right on the money, and Amari Harvey made it 4th and 1. What does BC do here?
I don't know. I mean, you saw the big offensive lineman and Robichaux run out in the field. It looks like they were trying to hurry up and go for a quick run.
The Georgia Tech player is down on the field. That looks like Lamiles Brooks.
A good accurate throw by Castellanos, letting Jaden Williams catch and run. And here they go. They are really good at converting on 4th down. 1st in the ACC, 21st in the country with 70%. They've gone for it 20 times.
Big shift on the offensive line to the right side. Castellanos is going to take it himself. Bounces it outside. And he's going to run out of bounds at the 10. They'll mark him more at about the 12, but it's a first down. 1st and 10 for the Eags.
Well, that's why they go for it. You got a quarterback who can run like this, a big back. And anytime the quarterback run games become involved, especially design quarterback runs with lead blockers, you always have the advantage in terms of the numbers. And Castellanos, with his speed, does a great job of getting out of bounds or getting outside the end and then making his way out of bounds.
13th play of this drive, and it's bleeding this second quarter clock inside of a minute. Castellanos will run it himself. Inside the 5, touchdown.
Yeah, he's, what do we call him? The human highlight reel?
He is just that for BC. Another Georgia Tech player down in the end zone.
And just weaving his way through.
Took a shot too at the end zone. Hung on to it by Kenan Johnson.
And the last 7 red zone trips by Boston College. Excuse me, last 8. 6 touchdowns, 1 field goal. 7 touchdowns, 1 field goal. The only field goal was that last one out in the first quarter.
That was Kenan Johnson who delivered that hit, shaken up in the end zone for Georgia Tech. Good to see him at least moving and rolling over under his own power. It's always a good sign at first. Johnson part of this rotation at cornerback for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he came in and
shoulder to shoulder.
You see him kind of grab that helmet right away. A lot of time, you know, you worry about a stinger or something like that in that situation where you get that kind of shoulder compressed. Your shoulder's not meant to hit like that. So he's all right. Kenan Johnson, really good player for them in the cornerback position. One of their bigger corners at 6'1", 180. He had a big game versus Miami with a huge pass breakup in that game. And Chris, we saw Miles Sims go down.
Yes.
And now Kenan Johnson, who was replacing Miles Sims at that cornerback spot. So we're going to have to keep our eye on that the next time Boston College has the ball and see who they have out there at cornerback.
There you see Johnson going straight to the Georgia Tech locker room with under a minute left to play in this first half for further evaluation.
You see how he was holding his arm.
Yeah, that shoulder might be it.
Yeah, that's, you know, you get that stinger, you get an impingement on the nerve, goes right up through the base of your skull. That hurts.
Connor with the try for the Eagles. Make it a 7-point game. Snap brought down. Kick is good. Boston College goes on a long drive. Took over 5 minutes off the clock. So inside of a minute, they reestablish that 7-point lead. Season 4 premiere of All Access, the ACC Life, is tomorrow. Features Clemson's women's soccer team, Florida State volleyball, and Georgia Tech men's cross country. You'll get unprecedented access into the lives of the student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans. 4 o'clock Eastern after Pitt and Clemson soccer right here on the ACC Network. And as always, streaming on the ESPN app.
Those are so fascinating to watch because, you know, I was a college athlete, but that's 15 years ago. The lives of college athletes these days are just, they're so much different than what they were back then. And it's really fun to watch, to dive into their lives. And all of us who enjoyed college, which I know you and I both did.
Yeah, a lot of years. A lot of my years.
Reminisce on those days.
6 falls on this campus. That was just to
you
get
had
my
me
undergraduate
I
degree.
had 5 at BC. Yeah, but yours was just undergrad.
Yeah, correct. 6 to get the undergrad. It was almost like at the limit, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, it's either get the degree or get out.
Yeah, Animal House was actually based off of you. Kidding. What was that one? Van Wilder?
Well, when you think about
for like 7 years. of college?
Lutarski,
Yeah.
6 years of college down the drain.
Speaking of like 6 years of college, Vinny DePalma for Boston College. He's been at
B6.
He's been at BC for 6 years playing football. He's got another year of eligibility. He's been a leader for that team.
Do you come? That's the question with the COVID and everything, and you get the extra year. Do you come back for 7? That's a lot of time. You could get multiple postgraduate degrees.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Why not?
Right.
I mean, you want to play football?
Haynes dropped for a loss. Neto Apala, also Georgia kid from Loganville,
who's really been playing well. Junior, and kind of overshadowed by Ezeraku and Salah, but he's been playing well.
King to throw. As a receiver, wide open. That's close to the marker to gain. As Christian Leary makes the catch, they're going to give him the first down. 14 yards on the play. Tech has 2 timeouts and 23 seconds to work with. King to throw. That's Blaylock on the far side. He's going to get 9 yards, and Georgia Tech's going to have to call one of those 2 timeouts with 14 seconds left. Probably 2 plays, maybe 3, maybe 2 plays to get into field goal range, and that third to kick it. Our fueling performance of the day presented by Gatorade. It's going to be Amari Jackson's pick 6. Look at this left-handed grab, pins it to his hip, and takes it to the house.
You almost don't even see it on the first one. He just pins it right there. It's really good job. Right? Okay, I'm going to swat the ball down. It's been a great PBU. And he finds himself with the football and brings it in for Boston College's first touchdown on the day.
Dominic Blaylock looked like he thought that was incomplete. Didn't even realize that Jackson had made the interception. I don't know if it would have made any difference anyways. Jackson was already on his horse. That touchdown really got the momentum away from Tech and gave it to BC, and they've ridden that to a 7-point advantage here late in the first half. Haynes King, not the best day for him throwing the football.
This drive, though, he's looked sharp.
King again back to throw. Jamal Haynes over the middle. What can he make happen after the catch?
What?
Cam Arnold had about 2 threads of his shirt and wouldn't let him go. If he gets free.
He's got the towel, right? His hand towel wrapped around his waist. Look at him. He's holding the towel like get out of here. What is this?
If he gets free, he could make something happen
Oh,
here.
yeah. And look, that is a strong piece of fabric.
Flag football.
Good grip.
The bad thing for Georgia Tech is that took 2 or 3 seconds off the clock, so now they're down to their last play. They may have been able to get 1 more if he goes down right away, but if he escapes the clutches of Cam Arnold, he might have been able to pick up enough yards for a field goal try.
Look, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy holding onto a towel and be fully spun around twice on the ground.
Yeah, it is. It's the engineering program here at Georgia Tech. You know, the textile engineering program.
Yeah. It's the rip-proof towels.
Boston College calling timeout. As you see on the wide angle, they've got 3 defenders with their heels on the goal line, or at least they did before that timeout. Now they just want to make sure they get everything in place, especially against this Georgia Tech team. They've shown their proficiency with the Hail Mary.
And this is a little, 5 seconds, you got to go to the end zone. You're in that kind of prevent defense. I guess you try to go for Hail Mary. That's really your only option.
It's really the only thing you can do with 5. If you had maybe 7 seconds, you could do a quick out.
Or you know what else I've seen before in this situation, where you get the offensive line kind of running out in front, little tunnel screen, and try to just
pitch it.
Do a wave of O linemen down the field. It's interesting. They got no one in the backfield to help block for them, which usually you want to keep a running back there to get a little block.
You got 3 defenders in the end zone for Georgia Tech. King.
That's why you keep a blocker back there.
He can run, though. Does he stay in bounds? No, he goes out. And that's going to do it. Up. And kept Georgia Tech in check. Gavin Stewart will kick off to start this second half for Georgia Tech. Lewis Bond will let it sail over his head for the touchback. Sherry Burrs is on the field.
Coach Affley told me his offense has found themselves in way too many 3rd and longs. To improve on that, he wants to see more run on 1st and 2nd down, and that includes getting quarterback Thomas Castellanos in more in this run game. Right now, he does lead this team in rushing yards, but he's really been a spark plug for this offense. You guys kind of mentioned those 3rd down struggles, only converting 1 of 6. So they want to see Castellanos really keep them going and keep these plays alive with his legs.
Yeah, Robichaux and Broom, the 2 tailbacks we'll see, we have seen, and we will see in the second half with Pat Garwo banged up. Haven't seen him yet today and don't expect to. So Robichaux now to Castellanos' right. Georgia Tech bringing pressure right up the middle, and Robichaux goes outside to the left, picks up 5 good yards on 1st down. To Sherry's point, much better on 1st down.
Well, that's how you stay out of 3rd and long situations. You pick up 5 yards. Did a good job. You see Robichaux end that run with his weight behind his pads, powering through the defense. If they can build that, right, if they can get that from their running backs, that can open up some of the play action, and off of the play action is where Castellanos can really go to work.
Staying with Robichaux right up the middle, has a huge hole in the Georgia Tech territory. Finally tracked down from behind at the 44 by Miles Sims. But Robichaux with 2 big runs to start this second half has Boston College in business.
You see the left side, you see Christian Mahogany pulling around. Good block by George Takis, number 80, and just no flow from the backside for Georgia Tech's defense.
Why mess with a good thing? Robichaux spins to the outside, but doesn't have very far to go this time around. Picks up 2 yards. Sims again in on the tackle. Clayton Powell-Lee and Kyle Eford also in on the mix.
Right, okay. 3 runs up the middle that have been productive for Boston College. Now is when you can pull the ball with Castellanos. Put the ball in up the middle. You can pull it towards the outside or get the big play action shot.
You see, when Boston College runs the ball effectively, they are close to being unbeatable. Castellanos now is going to go up top to Griffin, and it's intercepted.
Whoa, what a play. And that was the play action shot we're talking about, okay? You run play action off of the hard runs, and you have your wide receiver on the outside. Joseph Griffin, 6'3", 200-pound sophomore out of Springfield, Mass. Unable to high point the football.
Instead, it's Amari Harvey who high points it in the end zone. Huge turnover for Georgia Tech as Boston College was moving the football.
Man, you really got to put your foot in the ground and go up for that. Really good job by Amari Harvey. And we mentioned keeping an eye on the injuries for that cornerback position. Well, Amari Harvey, last man standing, makes a huge play.
Now Haynes King, and what can he do offensively? Georgia Tech has had success, even with Haynes King, too, running the football over 40 yards in that first half, but not much through the air. Here's Jamal Haynes picking up 3 on 1st down. George Rooks in on the tackle. Georgia Tech, as we saw in their last game against Miami, forcing 3 turnovers there. When they force turnovers, they usually convert them into points. Full field to go on this one, though. King to throw. Has a receiver open. Hits him on the corner. That'll be a 1st down for Georgia Tech. Christian Leary on the receiving end. Jalen Cheek in coverage.
That's a long throw, too, for Haynes King, and he just zipped it right out there. Good strike.
Now we're going to get a flag, and Georgia Tech's going to back up 5 yards.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
And it's Ja'Kiah Leftwich. Second time we've called his name on a false start. Got a feel for offensive linemen, Mark. You don't really mention their names. If you don't mention their names, they're probably having a great game.
Yeah.
The only time you mention them is when they false start or they're downfield or
That's true. I actually consciously make sure I mention them when they do make good blocks too, because they're a huge part of the game. But it is hard.
BC brings 5. King is going to take advantage of it into the open field.
Oh, there he goes.
Still on his feet. He's going to score.
King Haynes putting up points.
Amari Jackson had a shoestring, but Haynes King sidestepped the tackle and goes 71 yards to pay dirt.
There it is. Designed run and great block by Jamal Haynes. Getting to that next level. Let's mention the offensive line, Chris. Great hold by that Georgia Tech O-line.
And a great play call for the defense. Boston College was coming upfield, bringing 5, and Haynes King took advantage. He has over 100 yards rushing now on the day, and this touchdown to start the second half, and they once again convert a turnover into points. All knotted up at 17 here early in the second half in Atlanta. Graphic, he's saying, wait a minute, I'm the running quarterback in this duo today.
He sure can, and I think really both these quarterbacks have shown that they are truly a dual threat quarterback. You know, they can pull the ball down and run, a lot of less designed runs for Haynes King, but that last one, fully designed run, QB draw, and he made BC pay.
Sherry Burris down on the field. What do you got, Sherry?
Well, this week, Coach King changed their team's schedule to mimic more their road schedule. You notice when they flew to Miami, once they took off, within 10 minutes, all the guys were asleep on the plane. So this week, being a home game, he tinkered with their schedule to more mimic their schedules. And through sports science, they wear these wristbands, and this measures their activity, this measures their sleep and recovery. It is personalized for these guys, as they don't wear them though in games and practice, so this way they can know how guys are recovering based off of that last King run. Man, I think he slept great last night, guys.
Well, Sherry, you need to keep that on to measure your steps down there on the field.
Yep.
Put in a few miles every game, walking from sideline to sideline. Successful first down for Boston College. Dino Tomlin makes the catch, goes 12 yards for a first down.
Chris, every time I watch Boston College play and I watch Dino Tomlin, he does that. He just makes plays. And every time you talk to coaches, I'm like, oh yeah, we need to get him more touches. We need to get him more touches. Well, here you go. Dino Tomlin, he's been a phenomenal receiver for them. Get him going in this game. Start spreading the ball out to some of these other wide receivers.
Dino's just his 6th reception on the season. Castellanos play fake. Gets it to Bond. Bounces off a tackler into Georgia Tech territory. Still on his feet. Finally brought down by Amari Harvey at the 44. So 2 quick strikes from Castellanos. First to Tomlin, and then this one to Lewis Bond.
And, good toughness. Coaching point, Clayton Powell-Lee, you got to wrap up. But you see the toughness from Lewis Bond. And Lewis Bond was one of those guys, too. He wasn't a starter on day 1 or game 1, and he just earned his way on the field for catches like that, hard catches in traffic.
Here's another opportunity for Bond. Flag down. Picks up about 4, but let's check the marker. Bond also getting a lot more playing time because Ryan O'Keefe, the transfer from UCF, has been banged up.
Defense number 9, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Kyle Kennard a little over anxious from his defensive end spot. 5 free yards and 1st and 5 for BC.
Yeah, Ryan O'Keefe, suffered a pretty scary neck injury during one of his games a few weeks back, and he's back with the team now and practicing. We don't see him yet, but he's healing up, which is good.
1st and 5 after the 5 yards were marched off for the penalty. Castellanos to throw. Looking for Bond, who cut off the route, and it's overthrown. Might not have made a difference either way.
Yeah, it was a double move on the outside to Lewis Bond. Really good safety help over top by LaMiles Brooks, but he just stumbled coming out of the little stutter step.
Good coverage on the outside too by Georgia Tech.
Yeah, great coverage.
And Harvey again. He put in some good minutes today in that secondary for the Institute. Kyle Robichaux now in the backfield. Fake to him, design run. Castellanos is able to pick up the first down.
He is so explosive when he pulls the ball down run. He lost his shoe, it looks like. It's going to be important.
Doesn't skip a beat, gets back into the huddle.
Nope.
Gets the play from the sideline. Boston College with the rarity these days, a team that actually huddles.
Yes.
And a fresh set of downs. Castellanos again, the design run, has blockers in front of him. One man to beat, can't do it though on the corner. Miles Sims with a great tackle. Not intimidated one bit by being one-on-one with Thomas Castellanos. Limits him to a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, really good tackle. Good to see him healthy. Obviously, we saw him go down in the first half. He's back out there. And a really good tackle on a very slippery quarterback.
Castellanos to throw. Quickly out to Griffin. Crowd oohing and awing as you almost had Jalen King with another great play. He dove to try and make the pick, and it was just out of his fingertips. Gained a 3 on the completion.
Yeah, ooh, that was close. Either way, third down. You're seeing mass change at the wide receiver position, bringing 4 wide receivers and a tight end.
Boston College just 1 for 6 on third down today.
No running backs on the field, so they're going to line up an empty set. Sometimes you will see Lewis Bond motion to the backfield. Here he goes.
Fake to Bond. Castellanos will keep it himself. Can't escape the clutches of the Georgia Tech defense and KJ Wallace.
And Paul Moala with a fantastic play from his linebacker position to diagnose this, and watch number 13 beat the block of Jeremiah Franklin, number 17, right inside. And he put pressure on the quarterback, allowing his buddies to come and make the play.
Liam Connor on to attempt a 47-yard kick he made from 24 earlier on in the day. This one's going to sail wide right.
And well short.
And this Georgia Tech crowd letting their defense hear it. They bent, but they didn't break. Still tied at 17 midway through the third quarter. Connor was wide right, and Brett Key knows his team's right in it. What a brilliant 71-yard touchdown run the last time he took the field. Back at it.
Yeah, look at Boston College. Look how spread out their linebackers is on that second level. Now they condense a little bit, but they've been giving up a lot of yardage on the ground in the middle of the field.
King has a receiver, and it's dropped.
Wow.
That was Christian Leary, who had beat his man, and Haynes King put it right where it had to be.
Really good protection. Look at that offensive line blocking. And man, had Amari Jackson beat. Those are the type of big plays that are hard to come by. Tough not to capitalize.
Haynes trying to dance his way for positive yardage, picks up 2 before Vinny DePalma puts him down, and now it'll be 3rd and long for the Yellow Jackets.
There's Vinny DePalma, the old man we were talking about earlier.
Tech wants to go quickly. Ball deflected at the line of scrimmage and falls harmlessly for an incomplete pass. But for Boston College, an outstanding 3 and out for them after the missed field goal.
Yeah, huge. And Georgia Tech went quick. Linebackers weren't really set yet, but Cam Horsley, number 96, does a great job of getting that right paw up in the air. And, you know, just like that, Thomas Castellanos can get another chance.
Jaden Williams back to receive the Shanahan kick. He'll call for a fair catch and make it at his own 27 after a 42-yard punt. As Mark said, Castellanos back on the field for the Eagles, all tied at 17.
PM this week. Tell you what, it's a lot of watching football for me on the flight.
That's a real shame that your job entails so much watching football.
It's just, I got to go home and tell my wife, hey, got 5 more games to watch.
Right, it's for my job. Castellanos, this is his job right here.
Just a really good design. And you see that little whiff, that kind of hesitation block by number 17. Jeremiah Franklin does a good job of occupying 2 defenders. And Castellanos, again, uses that speed getting around the edge.
Back into Georgia Tech territory just like that. Castellanos to throw. Tries a screen, batted up in the air, and it's incomplete. Dangerously, Josh Robinson got his hand on it, and that ball seemed to float up in the air forever.
Oh, it did. Really good job, and that's been a couple times on these quick screen plays where these defensive linemen have been able to get involved.
Sherry, what do you got for us?
Well, guys, we've seen quarterback Thomas Castellanos really leading this offense, and he said this week he feels like he's growing on and off the field. I told you, he said he feels like he's coming out of his shell, and coaches say he really doesn't get rattled. We saw that with that interception, but he really has taken over as this is his team, and his teammates are believing that as well.
Good job of pursuit by Kyle Kennard. And Georgia Tech, Andre White from his linebacker spot also involved in the tackle, and that's a big play because it brings up 3rd down. Tech has been much more effective on 3rd down in this game than in the previous first 2 downs.
Oh, absolutely. Boston College still has struggled. Only 1 for 7 on 3rd downs, and they've averaged 7 yards or more going for it this one from 10.
Robichaux's in the backfield. That's Takis in motion. Castellanos to throw. Rolling out. Now he goes downfield, and he overshoots his receiver, Dino Tomlin.
And it's immediate pressure. Watch in the middle. Horace Lockett, number 55, just shows color early to Castellanos, and all of a sudden it turns into a rollout that's not designed to be a rollout. And really good job by Georgia Tech, and looked like miscommunication on BC's offensive line.
Candiotti on to punt. Gonna try and pin Georgia Tech deep, and he does just that as Blaylock makes the catch, runs out of bounds at the 11, and that's where the Institute will take over. Our Week 8 ACC is just managing the game too and getting that running game going.
Yeah,
and leaning on that great defense.
Agreed.
Cooley gets slammed down hard after a pickup of a couple. De Palma again on the tackle. BC shows pressure.
Really good route by Dylan Leonard, the senior out of Milton, Georgia.
Fresh set of downs for Haynes King. Cooley on the stretch, not a whole lot of room to run though, just a yard. Nigel Tate on the tackle. Boston College really rotate a lot in their front 4. You'll see a lot of names we've already talked about, guys like Sheeta Salah and Ezaraku, Horsley, Rooks, Apala.
And that was a key focus for Jeff Hafley over the past couple years, developing more pass rushers and defensive ends that can make a difference in the game. And you just mentioned a bunch of them that are able to do that.
King to pass. Pressure comes. Trying to get it to his running back out of the backfield. Haynes got a flag though in the backfield, right where Haynes King went down, and this could be rough in the passer. I don't see how it could be anything else from that spot.
Edwin Kalenge looks like he might have gone low on Haynes King. Remember, you can't hit the quarterback below the knee area.
After further discussion, there is no foul for roughing the passer. Third down.
That's not going to please that man right there.
No, and I think, I was wondering whether they were going to consider him being blocked into it. You see, it was above the knee, right? So if you're going and hitting shins first, you'll get that call, but that one looked like that contact was just above the knee.
Kalenge, who made the tackle, is shaken up on the play. See him there walking off a little gingerly.
Tapping his head. So he's all right.
It's a big no call because it brings up a 3rd and 9 now for Georgia Tech. They want to keep this drive going.
Georgia Tech, you talk about Boston College's struggles on 3rd down. Georgia Tech only 2 for 8 on the day, so both defenses have really played well. Boston College showing that pressure again. Coming from the bottom of the screen.
And they bring it. Cooley out of the backfield. A lot of room to run into Boston College territory. Still on his feet inside the 40. Finally brought down to the 32 by Cole Batson.
There we go, Buster Faulkner. All right. He called this little slip screen right into the pressure. He saw it. He knew it was coming. You get 5 out, and now they call Boston College with too many defenders on the field.
Rutherford. He's going to pick up the 1st down anyway inside the 20. Georgia Tech goes quickly after the big play, and they pick up another one.
Illegal substitution. Defense. The penalty is declined. The play results in a 1st down.
And when you come on this pressure off the edge, there we go. Never mind. We're going back to this with the penalty. There's way too many dudes on the field.
Didn't seem to affect Malik Rutherford into the red zone for Georgia Tech in the blink of an eye. They give to Cooley. There's a Rock who stops him, loses a yard. Second down and 12. King to throw, pressure over the middle. Has Avery Boyd, he'll score!
What a play by Georgia Tech. Avery Boyd is their big wide receiver on the outside, 6'2", 232 pounds, presents almost as an athletic tight end, but just a really good combination. Him coming from the outside in, using his body to create some separation and finding his way into the end zone. Great strike by Haynes King.
Burr misses the try. Mark that one down as the lead stays at 6. Brent Key can't believe it, but he's got to believe his big receiver Avery Boyd at 6'2", 232 mark, and they say he's one of the fastest receivers in this room.
Yeah, get him the ball more. Right? That's his 4th catch on the year, and he's got 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's 50% on touchdowns, and that could have been a touchdown from 60 yards away.
Bird just pushing it right. The Yellow Jackets hope that point doesn't come back to haunt them at the 2:08 mark here in this 3rd quarter.
And Chris, you talked about that this week, right? You brought up Avery Boyd to the coaching staff when we were talking about him, and So I think you get some credit for that touchdown.
Well, every time you go on the field at practice, and he's a monster.
Yeah.
He is a beast. And then they say, oh, he's really fast, too. He's one of the fastest guys we got.
Yeah, but he has great hands, so, right? He's got great hands, too.
I think in talking to Buster about him, he just says, look, he's just scratching the surface in terms of refining himself as a receiver. The route running, all the intricacies. He's a phenomenal athlete. Once he perfects that role of being a great receiver, the sky's the limit for Avery Boyd. Well, BC is down in the second half, and what else is new, Mark? They have found themselves, this isn't a very big hole, but they have found themselves in some pretty big holes this year, and they've found ways to fight back. You can never count out Jeff Hafley's crew.
Yeah, you know, against Virginia, they get down early. Against Florida State, they're down 21 points and come all the way back to be within an extra point, missed extra point of tying that game up and sending it to overtime.
The architect of those comebacks, number one, and Red fumbles the snap, but is able to pick it up and make something out of it. Still picks up 3 yards.
A lot of motion, a lot of guys moving in this backfield.
Boston College has moved the ball here in this third quarter. He's hadn't put any points on the board. Castellanos has all kinds of time to throw. Now the pocket finally breaks down, but he has a receiver open, makes the catch. That's Bond inside the 40. And a Georgia Tech defender, LaMiles Brooks, gets up a little bit slowly on that play, but Castellanos had all day to throw the ball.
And it's just a two-man route, right? It's a deep play action. And you get Joe Griffin towards the bottom of your screen, and the deep ball, really good awareness of the zone coverage and coming back to the football by Lewis Bond. He takes another big hit as he's receiving it. Good job holding on.
Give to Robichaux. Good pickup on first down. Up 4 yards. KJ Wallace on the tackle.
Boston College has been right around this part of the field a lot this game. They just have not been able to get past this sticking point and have had to settle for some long field goals.
Castellanos, a screen outside. That's Dino. Close to the first down marker. I think he's going to be dropped just 1 yard shy.
Clutch catch by Dino Tomlin.
This clock will wind down to end the third quarter. Georgia Tech retook the lead in that third quarter, but BC is driving when we come back to start the fourth. The turnover got him going. That was Amari Harvey. College looking to keep this drive alive.
Georgia Tech got the big D lineman in, anticipating run.
Castellanos with the fake. He's going to throw it as Takis wide open. Catches it at the 20. Inside the 10, down to the 2.
George Takis caught the ball and got it all the way down. And that's why they still want to go to him with the ball, right? When he does catch it, he has speed to break away from the defense. Mentioned Georgia Tech lined up against the run. Good call, play action by Steve Shimko.
And Brent Key scrambles all the way down to the goal line and gets the timeout.
Charge timeout.
Yeah, and he also is going to get a bill for breaking the headset.
I have to get a new headset after that one. Shucks the headset in disgust.
Hey, those things are expensive too. Look at that. Oh, see if it works. Oh, maybe it still works.
Look at Brent Key making his way down to the goal line. Trying to get Dion Lawrence's attention. Our line judge finally got it. Then got the attention of that headset.
Yep.
First and goal at the 2. Coach Hafley a little more composed. After all, his team right now is a touchdown and a conversion away from retaking the lead here, and they're just 2 yards away from that goal line.
I think it was awesome too, right? Brent Key was so adamant how he doesn't get emotional.
I think he gets emotional, but in very quick doses. I think
true.
It's a very quick emotional, and then
bring it back.
Flatline.
Bring it back.
Well, he needs his defense to get emotional right here and to bow up. Robichaux powers his way to the goal line. Will he get in? He stretches the ball across. Touchdown, BC.
And what an effort by Kai Robichaux as he was stopped. Initial surge was shut down by this defensive front of Georgia Tech. Let's check this shot out. See if that ball crosses the plane.
Yes,
there it does. Wow.
Great effort by Robichaux.
What a drive by Boston College. Able to find Lewis Bond again on another big one. They might take a look at it. Should be a quick review.
Got Takacs involved after a couple of early drops in this game. They needed to get him and his confidence going, and that was a big catch to get the ball down to the 2. Then you got a big back. You got a 216-pound back in Robichaux, who, even though he doesn't get into that initial surge, kept his feet. That's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah. We had that good handheld camera angle too, right down the line. It's going to be a quick review, I'm sure.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And the look that I'm sure sold it to our replay official, Rimas Kuzica. From Georgia Tech after their last score from Aiden Burr. Coach Hafley has regained the lead. Lombardo to kick off. Christian Leary waiting for it. He's going to get a return out of this one. Uses blockers well, but Boston College converges to stop him at the 25. Sherry Burris down on the field.
Guys, the confidence is building for this Boston College team, but looks like we might have a player down, number 11 here for Georgia Tech.
And that is not good news, as that is Jamal Haynes playing on special teams. It looks like they're looking at that left leg. We'll take a quick break and get you caught up on Jamal Haynes' condition.
Mac there.
Never wears his heart on his sleeve.
Never.
Still bleeding the purple and orange.
And rightfully so, right?
And you know what it was like back playing in the trenches, wearing those colors. They run deep. King in trouble here, but he can make something happen with his legs, and he does. Picks up 6. He is a long strider, Mark.
Yeah, he sure is. And soft edge. Was able to take advantage of it. Good coverage in the back end. Nice little gain on first down.
Keeps it. Got a lot of room to run here. Gets a block from Leary on the outside. Still on his feet into Boston College territory.
Well, you got to account for him. He's by far the leading rusher in this game with over 130 yards on the ground, and it's just, it's a sellout for the dive. You got to have a linebacker flowing over the top if you're going to sell out your corner on the dive player.
Now King comes up to the line and checks. Cooley stays in the block. King gets it out to Malik Rutherford. Flag down away from the play.
Could have been illegal man downfield. Looked like the umpire turned around and there was an offensive lineman behind him.
Maybe the entire offensive line behind him. I see some of the big uns walking back.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
They'll nag the right guard Connor Scaglione. So the first down completion is negated. Tech moves back 5 yards, 1st and 15. You see Haynes King's numbers. The percentage is getting higher and higher in this second half. It's really the 143 yards on the ground that's been the big deciding factor in this game and keeping Georgia Tech close. Plenty of time on the play clock. King to throw. Too high. There he wasn't able to go up and bring it down. 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, and he knew it. Taking a deep breath. Sometimes your quarterback, and he's not used to rushing this much, right? For this many yards. And you saw him kind of take that deep breath. All right, let me calm down. It's a throw I can make. Let me get back in rhythm.
Has protection, has a receiver open and just cannot connect with Rutherford, who was wide open. And Malik's a little bit frustrated on the far side.
Yeah, he had him too. That's the exact design of that play. And it's a clear out on the, by the outside receiver and just a 7. And, we've seen Haynes King make that throw over and over again.
3rd and long, pressure up the middle, forces King out of the pocket. Still on his feet into Boston College territory, brought down by number 47, the 47-yard line.
I was wondering who you were going to call the 47-yard line.
So it's 4th down, and it's 4th down and 8.
Yeah, and to me, this is a punt situation. I think you take a penalty here, probably. You punt the ball, try to pin him down deep, but it's way too. Seems too far to go for a 4th down.
We get a whistle, and it's
Georgia Tech. Their 2nd of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
So you have to use a timeout in that situation.
Well, you definitely don't have to, right?
And now you're down to 1 timeout, trailing in the game in the 4th quarter. And
I think that it comes down to communication, right? If you're in that situation, you're at 4th down. If say the worst thing that happens is you get a delay a game, you're going to move 5 yards back and just punt it anyway. So, unless you really feel like this play right here is, hey, we need to get this 1st down in order to win this game, you don't do that. And you see right here, the decision was just a punt. So you're exactly right, Chris. Now you're down to 1 timeout already with 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter. And, Brent Key himself said, hey, this is going to come down to the last play of the game.
Shanahan to punt it away. Looking to pin Boston College deep. Williams is going to make a return out of it and get him out of a little bit of a jam. So a smart play by Williams to get what he can on the return. And he brings it all the way out to the 28. Boston College with the ball, up a point here in the 4th. Ball and making something out of nothing when it breaks down, and Haynes King on a lot of design runs making hay. Robichaux. Georgia Tech's defense does a nice job in tracking him down.
I think a lot of that too, right? The kind of opposite things are going the right way for these quarterbacks. That's what the defenses are forcing them to do. Okay, we have Haynes King. We can't let him throw the ball over our heads. So we're going to play softer coverage, allow him a little bit more running room, because that's not going to be what kills us. For Thomas Castellanos, hey, let's let him throw the ball. We cannot let his feet kill him. And so part of that goes into what the defensive game plan is as well.
And part of it is Castellanos, as he does on this play, has all kinds of time to throw, but his receiver fell down. Looks like Bond on the far sideline lost his footing.
Yeah, got tangled up with the defender.
Cut it off, too. That's the second time we've seen that, Mark.
Yeah.
So maybe a little miscommunication between quarterback and receiver on that play. It leads to a 3rd and 9.
Be interesting to see if Georgia Tech leaves a guy in there to spy Castellanos in this situation. Could be Trinilius Tatum, number 7, fast linebacker.
Eagles just 2 of 9 on 3rd down today. Castellanos all kinds of time, and a receiver makes the catch. Dino Tomlin.
Yeah, and you think he doesn't watch some NFL games to see him catch that football and try to get up for some extra yardage? Dino Tomlin, obviously son of Mike Tomlin. And they did snap the ball
very quickly. Didn't want anybody to look at that one. Robichaux picks up a couple.
I mean, what a conversion. Have a tough time converting all night. Only 2 of 10 before that. And then they get this conversion on 3rd and 9. I mean, I said it before, right? Dino Tomlin just makes catches in big situations for this Boston College offense. Ooh, and late substitution by Georgia Tech.
BC has gone over 400 yards of total offense in this game. Castellanos design run, has blockers in front of him, tracked down from behind, and it'll bring up a big 3rd down and 3 here. That was Paul Moala. Brought him down from his linebacker spot. I say big 3rd and 3. I gotta think this is 2 down territory, a midfield mark right here.
Especially from where you are. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree.
Here's the first of those 2 downs. I'm sure Coach Hafley and Thomas Castellanos and company would like to convert here. Robichaux powers his way. He'll be shy by about a yard. Horace Lockett, Biggin, making the stop.
Yeah, and right, I bet they'll go for it, right? Let's line up fast. Let's get on the ball and go for it. No, and we'll see. But Horace Lockett, again, he just ran into a 6'6", 341-pound defensive lineman, mounted, right? And you're going to bring more of your goal line package in now, offensively and defensively.
Big play in this game. Boston College breaks the huddle. Again, like we saw in the touchdown, switching the line to the right side. Castellanos gets through and still on his feet. He's got 1 man to beat inside the 20, inside the 10. He'll score.
Thomas Castellanos. What a play, and that's the risk. You see it so often when you go goal line defense. You have no one back. There's no erasers in this play, and it looks like Lamiles Brooks, number 1, just loses Castellanos behind the big offensive line, and then he slips out and still holding the football. What a play.
Connor with the PAT. So Castellanos' huge day continues. Now well over 100 yards rushing on the day to go with a solid day through the air. And this touchdown right here is big. Puts Boston College up 2 scores in the 4th quarter. And coach back to break. Georgia Tech still within just 1 score of the touchdown and a 2-point conversion from tying this game. So all still to play for Georgia Tech. Got to get a touchdown drive, though. That certainly would help right here at the 8:44 mark. Leary's going to get a try here. Tries to leap over defender. He's able to get to the 27-yard line. Castellanos.
Single season rushing yards by BC quarterback Tyler Murphy had 1,100 yards back in 2014, but Castellanos right behind him.
Ball's on the ground. But obviously this call is huge in this game, and Georgia Tech was able to fall on it. Missed connection between Haynes King and Jamal Haynes, and Scaglione might have saved Georgia Tech's bacon. I mean, it looked like Haynes didn't even know that it was coming.
No. He faked me out. My eyes stayed with Jamal Haynes because he sold it.
Big break for Georgia Tech. Now Haynes King scrambling a bit here, throwing it into traffic, and it's intercepted. Elijah Jones comes down with it on the ill-advised pass. And one near disastrous play and a totally disastrous play here on this drive for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
I mean, Elijah Jones has had himself a day today. 2 PBUs, an interception, and Jeff Hafley, right? His experience, his background is coaching defensive backs in the NFL, and he has coached some good ones. You talk about When he was with the 49ers, he was, Coach Richard Sherman. With the Cleveland Browns, Coach Joe Hayden, Coach Darrelle Revis, both at Pitt in college, and then when he was with the Buccaneers. And these defensive backs, right? That's one position that Boston College is able to recruit maybe better than any other one, because they know that they have a head coach who puts so much emphasis on these DBs, and Elijah Jones and Amari Jackson both have had huge games today. Oh,
Robichaux! It's a foot race to the end zone. Inside the 5, LaMiles Brooks finally tracked him down, but another huge gain on the ground for the Eagles, 57 yards.
Man, what a run.
BC wants to go quickly. They've got Georgia Tech on the ropes. Robichaux up the middle, powers his way to the end zone, touchdown.
Wow. Just back-to-back demoralizing runs given up by this Georgia Tech defense.
Every play is reviewed, as this one is currently being reviewed.
Yeah.
He's in. Now 139 yards and 2 touchdowns for Robichaux, and Boston College has just blown this thing wide open here in the 4th. Now it's 2 scores at the midway point.
Man, we'll take another look at that long run and see kind of what happened. Look at this left side of the offensive line. Does a good job. Really good kick out block by 73 Mahogany. And the second level just not there. These are 2 long runs for Boston College on back-to-back drives. And Chris, now it's a 2-score game.
Yeah, now it's, you think it certainly is no time to panic for Georgia Tech, but now you have to get something on this drive.
Yeah.
Leary will give it another shot. Brought down at the 25. These Tech fans, I don't know if they saw the Miami game a couple of weeks ago.
They definitely didn't.
You never know. You never know with this team. They got to get it to a 1-score game first, and in order to do that, got to get a drive here.
It's kind of interesting too, right? Brent Key, he's had success against ranked teams, had some big wins, but really have struggled at home to get wins. So these fans haven't really seen a lot of success from their team in this stadium. And
Sheeta Salah almost decapitated Leary. That play looked positive from the start, and Sheeta Salah shut it down.
That was a strike. That's a clothesline.
That play looked like it had some promise, and that ended quickly. Haynes King just running out of time, trying to get Dante Smith involved. First time we've seen 4 in white today. Dante Smith on this drive, tailback.
And 2 relatively unproductive plays. And Georgia Tech might catch Boston College with too many men on the field again. They were going to.
Timeout by BC saves their bacon.
Charge timeout. Boston College. Their second of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Mark, you're down 2 scores at 6:48. Is this really 4-down territory here if you're Georgia Tech? With this much time left on the clock?
Yeah.
You think it is?
Yeah, you know, with this much time, 2-score game, and with the way Boston College has been able to move the football, you really want to. I mean, if you're at 4th and 9, no, right? But you need to have a completion here, or at least a gain of 5, and then you're in the territory. Okay, we can convert on 4th and 4 or less, but there's still a lot of time to go. Mentioned that timeout that was taken on the punt earlier in this quarter. It's going to hurt as they're trying to come back in this game.
First things first, out of the Boston College timeout. Tech's got to get something positive on this third down. Free play. King trying to get it to play lock, and he had to go up with one hand. Couldn't bring it in, but I believe Boston College is going to be offside.
Offside. Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Well, that helps the situation for Georgia Tech anyways. Gets him 5 free yards. It's 3rd and a long 4. Haynes looks to the sideline. Dante Smith now switches over to his right. King to throw. Leary can't make the catch. Cam Arnold, good coverage for Boston College. It's 4th down.
Yeah, this BC defense, they've really been playing well in this second half. There's a good shot of Coach Abdul Rahim, and we mentioned the secondary. He's a secondary coach, kind of a co-defensive coordinator with the linebacker coach Sean Duggan, but both of these guys have done a great job of calling this game.
4th down, Georgia Tech going for it from their own 31. 4th and 4. As Leonard has the first down.
Nice strike by Haynes King to Dylan Leonard. Another guy who is a productive tight end. Hasn't gotten a lot of productivity so far in this season, but 2 big catches today.
King has time. Has a receiver, and Leary makes the catch and is dropped at the 35.
There you go. Good completion on 4th down. That's a confidence builder for Haynes King. And you think this guy's going to get rattled? No way. Haynes King, after what he did against Miami last couple seconds of the game, he's ready to lead his team back down the field.
Donovan Izaraku, Boston College's best pass rusher, is injured right near midfield, holding on to that right calf. Let's hope for BC's sake that that's more of a cramp than anything else. That's oftentimes what you see with the right calf. He'll be favoring that leg. Georgia Tech has new life here, converting that 4th down to Leonard, and then Haynes King on a big play to Christian Leary.
Really, they've had success on these outside routes, right? Breaking towards the sideline. Not necessarily the deep balls, but kind of these 6-7 yard hitches or getting right behind that cover 2 corner.
Smith powers through a tackle.
Oh, wow.
Gets 11 yards. Dante Smith, injured early on in the season and is just fighting his way back, playing his way back into playing shape. We got another injury on the field.
Look at that hit, just good job lowering his shoulder.
Rashida Salah is having to come off. Good to see him coming off under his own power, but that's 2 defensive ends now for BC.
Yep.
Izaraku and Rashida Salah.
Izaraku just came back in the game.
So that's positive, and you see Akpala there 4 near side.
We kind of swapped out like a tag team in wrestling. You take a quick break, I'll come back in. I'll take this next round.
BC showing pressure. Oh, intercepted. Haynes King threw it right to him, fumbles the football, but it's picked up by Boston College.
Is that Elijah Jones again?
Jones made the interception. That's his 2nd of the day. And Haynes King threw it right to him.
Career day
Down Boston College
for Elijah Jones, and They'll look at that to see if it was a catch, I'm sure, but right here, good job. It just stepped right in front of it. Let's see if he did catch that.
The ruling on the field is a catch, a fumble, and a recovery of the fumble by Boston College.
I think that's a good ruling.
It looked like George Rooks was the one who came in and recovered the fumble. King, you can see he knew right away. Like, oh no.
Yeah, and it was an option route by Malik Rutherford, and just right when he hesitated, Elijah Jones does a good job of knowing, hey, I got good speed. I can match up with this guy if he does try to take off. But if not, let me see the eyes of the quarterback. Read those eyes and just stepped right in front. I mean, Elijah Jones. Talking to the coaches before the season, they said, hey, this guy needs to start making the plays when they're available to him. That's what he's done. Started off with an interception a few weeks ago, and with 2 today, it's a career day for him.
Now Georgia Tech with just that one timeout on the board, in desperate need of a 3-and-out here. Robichaux, we're going to get a steady diet of number 5 in red, I believe.
And how about this game? Right? So close, tooth and nail, all the way up into the beginning of that fourth quarter. And Haynes King takes off of her big one, and then just the back-to-back big runs by Boston College.
BC's had a lot of big plays today, Mark. 9 plays of 20 or more yards for BC. And that's really what's killed Georgia Tech in this game, in this fourth quarter. Castellanos taking as much of that play clock as he can. Robichaux. They bring up 3rd and 2. This is obviously the play of the game for this Georgia Tech defense. Got to get off the field here if you want any chance. Robichaux once again moves the pile, 1st down, still moving the pile down at the 44, and fresh set of downs for that man and the Eagles.
Good push up the middle. This offensive line really, you came into this year and really were blamed for a lot of the inefficiencies on the offense last season. They come into this year with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they have performed, right? They've produced, they've gotten yardage on the ground, they did a good job of protecting their quarterback. And that was a great shot of their force that they can produce on that last play.
Broome, good hard running, still pushing the pile and moving it forward 8 yards.
There's nothing that a defensive head coach likes better than operating in the 4-minute drive. 4-minute drive into the game, keep the ball, try to gain 1st downs or run out clock. And that's the nightmare for a defensive coach when you're on the other side of it, because you're just like, oh, I got to get a stop, got to get a stop. And so when you can put your opponent in that position, it feels good. Jeff Hafley's loving what he's seeing.
More Broome. 1st down for Boston College. You got Drew Kendall, Christian Mahogany. You mentioned him back from injury. Ozzie Trapillo. Both Kendall and Trapillo legacies at Boston College. Their fathers played on the offensive line at BC. And on the left side, you got 2 transfers. I call them the Habs. A lot of times you call offensive linemen the Hogs.
Yeah.
These are the Habs because they're both Canadian. Logan Taylor and Kyle Hergel on the left side of that offensive line. And there's Hergel right there, 60. They've been great today.
They have. And right, what have they had? They've had consistency. The same 5 guys have started every single game this year for Boston College on the O-line. And last year, it was a revolving door. But what that produced was a bunch of backups who also have a lot of experience. And so they feel like not only are their first 5 extra capable and solid working together, but they have guys in the reserves that can create depth at that O-line spot.
Georgia Tech calling their final timeout of the day. And Thomas Castellanos has been phenomenal today.
Well, you know what? Started through the air and then he got going on the ground, right? He picked up a big one and then it kind of felt like, okay, we're at a sticking point. Let's freelance. And I tell you what, there's no one in the ACC that freelances better than number 1 in maroon and gold. He took over the game and he called it.
That's our Saturday MVP. It's brought to you by Sport Clips. Look at those numbers. 255 through the air, 128 on the ground, a couple of touchdowns. Boston College over 300 yards rushing today. You saw it moments ago, well over 500 yards of total offense.
They've been efficient, and we mentioned the penalties early in the game. They ended the game with only 5 penalties, which that's what really had hurt them early in the year. And so even though they had 4 in the first quarter, they corrected it and got it back. First 3 games of the year, 38 penalties. Led the ACC in that category. As we mentioned, this game included the last 4, only 20 total.
Stewing over there. Used his last time out. There's nothing he can do. Wants to get the ball back, but that clock is just ticking down inside of a minute. Boston College will let it run down and call a timeout here at exactly the 59-second mark. Week 8 continues in the ACC pit, coming off their big win over Louisville last weekend. They're in Winston-Salem taking on Wake Forest. They'll start that game right around 3:30. Is about 8 minutes away. As soon as we wrap up here, we're going to cap off today with Clemson and Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. That's our ACC primetime matchup. And looking forward for these 2 teams, Mark. We talked about at the top and really all day long how pivotal this game was between Boston College and Georgia Tech to start the second half. You and I are going to be in Chestnut Hill next week. Boston College taking on our old friend Coach Mora and UConn, but their schedule for BC sets up a little bit better. There are some winnable games in there, and certainly if you can win this week and you can beat UConn and they'll be a favorite next week at home, that's win number 5 on the year for Tech. They've got North Carolina at home next week. They're at Clemson, Syracuse, and Georgia to finish up the year. That's a tough slate for them to be able to find 3 wins somewhere in there to go bowling.
Yeah, and they started the season with the toughest schedule in all the ACC, and they're in the teeth of it.
Robichaux right at the line to gain. And they're going to give him the first down.
And now, for everyone wondering, now is when you can take a knee.
So you're telling me right now is when you would take a knee?
Right now is when you can take a knee.
They've been able to run the football all day, though. Why don't you just run it?
Come on, Chris. You take 2 knees, or 1 at this point.
Give credit to BC's defense as well for forcing 3 turnovers.
Oh, yeah. And Elijah Jones with 2 of them, a couple big PVUs. Well, Castellanos, if he didn't have such a phenomenal day, Elijah Jones might have gotten that Sports Clip MVP.
Castellano takes a knee. He won't have to take another. Big hug for his head coach, Hafley. As our 2 coaches will meet at midfield. Disappointing loss for Georgia Tech back at home. They'll be back here again next week against North Carolina. And for Coach Hafley, they're heading home to take on UConn next week. We've gone final. Boston College 38, Georgia Tech 23. That's going to wrap it up for us. For Mark Kirchlick, Sherry Burris, and our entire crew, I'm Chris Cotter.